All right, I think we are live. Good afternoon, everyone. Daniel Chamberlain here. I am with Michael Beaumont. Michael wearing the nice Ace Sports
How about
lapel
that?
pin. It's looking good.
Yeah.
He is the new rep for Ace Sports over in living in Tennessee, but
Yeah.
working that whole East Coast basically.
Have all of everything east of Nashville, and then the Carolinas and the Virginias. But if anybody needs me anywhere else on that side of the country, I can make it happen.
Well, that's right. Yeah, somebody will get there, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So we had a lot of big changes since the last time we talked. I know that guys will remember that. You came on the show when we were in San Antonio. No, maybe in
we were in Missouri.
Yeah, Northeast Oklahoma area.
Yeah, that's right.
I got to discuss with you earlier, talk a little bit about getting back home to some family back in Knoxville.
The change has been very quick and exciting all at once. It's a little different being at a show like this because, Daniel, for so long I had been on that side of the table and not on this side. So we are here in Tampa for the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association Conference here for all the ADs across the country. And we're showing them a little bit about what ACE can do for them and how we can make that game day environment. It's just it's exciting for me because I had been on that side before, and now I'm on this side. What's the blessing for me, though, is that I was a customer of ACE before. So I had used the product in our venues to make that game day environment, to make the atmosphere something like had never been seen in high school in Arkansas. And so this is exciting, not just to be here with all of these people, but to have the opportunity to make a difference at other people's schools.
For sure. And we talked about it was Fort Smith North and South, right? That's So where you put in what Ryan was saying earlier is essentially a D1 basketball stadium.
It's what's funny about that is that in my tenure there, I was working hard to get a couple of the smaller JUCOs or NAIAs or Division IIs to come to Fort Smith and to see our venues. And in doing that, the Great American Conference decided that, hey, Coach Beaumont, do you want to host our postseason tournament? And I was like, this is why we've been doing this. Yes. But if you're going to host, some of the teams have asked, hey, don't put us in the varsity boys locker room or girls locker room. I'm like, why not? We have stadium seating. We have giant video screens. We have all things that, yeah, we don't have that at our schools. We don't have the cube, center hung cube. We don't have 2,500 seats. We don't have all of these things. And so we're pretty proud in Fort Smith of the venues there. A lot of kids will go on to play at the next level, and they won't have the facilities they have at high school, Daniel, at high school there, which is so great about, what ACE does. They bring that big time collegiate environment to the high schools. And so I think that's what's a blessing about the company and working for them now is that I know firsthand and being a part of them about what it can do, because we're in a world now of school choice, especially at a lot of the southern states. I can speak to them that a kid now, the lines of where you have to go to school are real blurred now.
That's right.
They can make a choice to go to school wherever they want to, and they can never make that decision for athletic purposes, even though you and I both know more than likely the decision was made for athletic purposes.
That's right.
So you got to have all the bells and whistles. While I appreciate the new science lab and the music wing that's being built and the ninth grade academies that are being built, the front porch to every public school is going to be its athletic program. And that's just the draw. It's the reality of what it is. And so what can I do? What can I offer? What can I have that can entice young people to make them want to come to school at your school? Now, is it always about the staff and the people that you build relationships with? 1,000,000%. But it's nice to have a little extra bells and whistles.
That's right.
To make them choose.
So we're talking
something
school
else.
choice right here, and kind of what ACE can do to benefit your school,
Yeah.
build it up, get that environment. And you start to get into facilities and like what kids need to be better and be successful. But mom and daddy are the one that are putting them there. So if mom and daddy are happy with the comfortable seating and the big screen and the environment here is electric. We just watched a national recruit sign with Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken,
100%.
right?
Yes,
Instead
sir.
of Ohio State.
That's right.
Because his mama wanted him there.
Yeah, and you hit it, square on the head, Daniel, and the fact that environment, whatever it's like on game day. Hey, I've been in the recruiting. I've been in the living rooms when we, every kid, every parent, I want to make sure he walks across that stage. I want to make sure she gets her degree. But deep down inside, they like that. They want to hear everybody screaming for their daughter or their son. They want to see him up on the giant video board. They want that game day environment to be something where it gives you chills. That even we're talking about it now, that's the feeling they want for their kid. And it's not. I know these parents. It's not for them. They want it to be they want as we all want as parents, we want everything possible for our children.
Yes.
And to have that environment, I can't imagine what it would be like if the old Coach Beaumont, if my father would have seen me run out onto a field of 100,000 people all scream. I mean, as a parent, what kind of feeling would that be? But while 100,000 may be a Power 5, there's nothing wrong with Division II. There's nothing wrong with any. If you want to play after high school, there are opportunities for you. It's just, and do you love it that much?
We're kind of jump off in recruiting a little bit here, but the high school to D1 is not really a bridge anymore, right?
No.
They're putting the guys that are changing schools, they're getting those spots now. So transfer portals kind of ruined that. And
you have to be honest with yourself in knowing that the days of whenever I was in college athletics of looking at a young person, a 17-year-old, an 18-year-old, trying to decide whether I want them to come and play for our team and how much of an impact that can they have today, how much can they have in a year, how much can they have in 2 years. But I can go to the portal now, and I know Sally, she's played against LSU. She's played against – I know what she can do. I'm going to go ahead and sign her now, whereas I may see if I can get that 17, 18-year-old to go somewhere else.
Right.
Watch them play, see how they do against a better competition, and then they bounce up. I was worried when all this was happening that the smaller schools, the smaller divisions were all going to go defunct. I thought they were all going to just – I didn't know what would happen to them. How can they compete with the Power 5s, and how can they – but we're seeing kids that they bounce up, and then the ones that are not having success, they bounce down.
Yeah.
And so go somewhere, show out, bounce back up again. So I think that that's just the reality of what it is. I hate it because it used to be so exciting this time of year.
Yeah.
I remember we would move the fax machine. Fax machine was this machine. That, We moved that into the main area of the football office, and we would all be standing around and waiting for those fax to come in. Now there's so many signing days, and there's early signing. And we're getting so many kids out of the portal. It's different. It's just not bad. It's just different.
You like to see those kids still. I live just north of NSU there in Oklahoma,
right?
And it's still really neat to see local kids are going to D2, right? Yep. They're going there to play. A couple kids from Bristol last season, which I helped with them.
Right.
A couple of those guys went up to NEO and played for a season. And it's like this past season. So it is neat. They still have that opportunity. It's pretty close to home. So it's not ruined.
No.
The trip to college athletics is not ruined, and those JUCOs don't count against your time anymore.
No.
So you go get 3 free years of ball, or 2, I guess, and then move on. So
you don't think that there's a difference between that big man at right tackle at 17 or 18 versus 22, 20? There's a difference.
Yeah,
there is a difference, and I think that only helps kids. Now, a skilled kid sometimes can get away with it. A skilled tailback or wide receiver at 17, 18, they're pretty athletic. They can do it. But, boy, I sure do like it when he's 20.
Yeah.
If she is 21 and she's already been to the puppet show, she's seen all the strings. Hey, this is good. She knows what to expect. She knows what she can do. And so, and not to mention, they have these things at college called classes. You're supposed to go and do those. And at 17 or 18, you may not be as disciplined as you need to be to handle the rigors of the academic piece and of what we're going to monopolize your time for the athletic piece. It's hard. It's hard. You had better love it if you're going to play at the next level. You had better love it because it's hard. But it's kind of the reason why you and I are both in this. The lessons of the life lessons that athletics teaches us are forever life lessons.
That's 100%. Yes. Well, let's talk about video boards.
Yeah.
I know we are here with A Sports. They covered the flight downs. We'll give them a little spot here.
100%.
But, you already mentioned you were a customer of A Sports. You put in a very nice facilities there at Fort Smith. Now you're getting to travel and watch other people make their dreams come true. So kind of talking about the rise or the spread of, it isn't just turf anymore. That used to be the thing, right?
Yeah.
Everybody wanted turf. But now we're building these game day environments. Kind of how have you enjoyed getting to do that, and what are guys doing?
I think that what's exciting for me is the opportunity while you on the field or on a court making a difference in a young person's life through athletics. I'm a sidebar now. I get to make a difference doing these kinds of things because it is part of the total package. You like to have the excitement, the energy of what used to be a Friday night or a Tuesday night for varsity basketball or volleyball or whatever you're trying to watch. That was the cheerleaders and the pep band and all those things. Now I still keep those things, but I can add, how great is it to be at a high school venue and somebody hits a 3, and then on all the LED screens and on the floor, it yells 3 and it shows the kid's name. I mean, it's amazing that what we are doing at this level. And I think for a lot of people, they think, oh, wow, my school couldn't do that. We're just we're just a 1A Oklahoma school. We're just, we can't afford that. You know, it's another reason why I'm here working on this side of the table now, is that there are so many avenues to make that dream come true. And it's a whole lot closer to reality than a lot of people are. And that's what I'm trying to help them do. I don't think of it as a salesman. I'm more of a consultant. And I can show you, because I did it. I can show you how to make it happen for your school. And then after you get it paid for, you're like, wow, that worked out pretty good. Yeah, now it turns into a revenue stream. And you're using it to raise money for your programs. And if there's athletic directors out there listening now, you're thinking, okay, wait a minute. I'm currently using the budget to do this. My revenue stream could help take away. I can take those funds. And so it just, in my role as the AD, it helped us do things that I never thought could be possible through a revenue stream of using the video boards. I was always in the mindset of like the old coaches, you know, we sold our $250 banners and hung them on the fence.
Hang the banner on the fence.
And put them around inside the arena. And that's how we raised enough money to do little extra things. Now we think a little bigger.
Yes. And I think that's an aspect we don't hit enough of, is the actual fundraising portion of these sports. You're getting a fantastic product, right?
Yeah.
We mentioned earlier in the last podcast, these are a 10-year parts warranty, a 5-year labor warranty. They're already 30% brighter than the competition. So you go anywhere else but Ace, you're going to get probably a pretty good product.
Yeah.
But I promise you're getting a fantastic product with Ace Sports. It's out there for the long run. So you can have that conversation about, okay, we're going to get this paid off in the first year or two.
Yeah.
That first contract cycle, 4 years, 5 years, whatever your cycle is. Then the second one is all just gravy. The board still exists. It's still operational. It still looks beautiful.
Yep.
Or whatever else you've added on, right? There's plenty of add-ons and accessories. You can customize your dream if you want. But that starts bringing money to you. So now you didn't buy anything.
No.
You just found another way to make cash.
You know, the two things you hit on right there was the first one. Okay, this can help make us money, but everybody's going to have a CFO or a superintendent that's going to be like, all right, come on now. This sounds a little too good to be true.
For sure.
But I was part of a school that lived it. We said, okay, we're going to go in, and we were 2 7A high schools that had to have we're north side and south side. So it had to be the cube that we hung on one side of town. It's going to be the same cube we hung on the other side of town. And in doing that, you know, we're spending over $1 million in all the video boards. We did the floorboards. We did cameras. We did it. We had 2 new arenas. And so we did it all. We did everything. But in doing that, we had to figure out how we're going to pay for it. The superintendent's like, yeah, coach, you can do whatever you want, but how are we going to pay for it? And so ACE provides that blueprint, that plan. In fact, ACE came with me, and we walked together hand in hand to the area businesses and sponsors and all the people that we would normally hit on to buy ads.
Right.
Now we started dreaming a little bigger. And I don't want to give away too much of how that plan is, but the marketing plan for the company is something like I have never seen. And for those out there that are listening now or that are watching now, remember, in my role, the CFO and the superintendent was not going to let me spend the money that we spent without vetting out every company that could possibly be out there that does this kind of thing. And we chose ACE. And so that ought to tell you that if we're going to spend $1.3 million, we didn't do that haphazardly. We did not decide, you know what, we just like them better. We'll just, no. There's not a procurement officer at any public school in America that's going to say, you better get a few more bids.
That's right.
You had better vet out the company. You better check the other places they have put them in and get references from them. And we did all that. And we chose ACE.
Yeah. I still, you know, I only get to see Jason, the owner, and I only get to see him at these events. But every time I just sit and listen to him, and he's having a business meeting at lunch today, and I'm just like, he's playing chess. Everyone else is playing checkers, right? But it's to his benefit. He's the owner of a company, but he really wants these high schools, these colleges, whoever's buying them. That's where he's like, I want to watch you have that benefit.
Yes.
He's the owner of a company. He wants to make monies. But when he can see those people put in their dreams, a north and south side, complete arenas, that's where it's at.
I think that for him, and I only know him just from, my 90 days with the company and my time of being at Fort Smith and buying the product from them. I think the enjoyment, while he may be the business owner, at bottom lines, dollars, all of the things that you would think a company owner would be, I would venture to say his number one exciting moment of all that is when they go up and he's there on a Friday night or on a Tuesday night in a gym and all the fans are like, wow. I think that's where his chest kind of sticks out a little bit. Then he's kind of like, yeah, we did that. We did that right there.
For sure. Talking about the East Coast, man, you've been out there for just a little bit now. What kind of trends are you seeing? What's that cool stuff you're watching go up in these arenas and fields?
Well, I think one thing is that making that move, I did not really, my vision was always where I am. Now my vision is where everybody is. And so I get a chance now to go look at many other venues while you were in the conference, or you go somewhere, you play a game against somebody, you kind of look to see what they have. You look at their locker room, coaches always have envy of everybody else's stuff. Yeah. You just got new bleachers. I know, but I really like their bleachers. It's the nature of how we are. We can't help it. But it is the great thing about now in my role is that I get to bounce around to all these other schools just to see, all right, what are we doing? How can I help you improve? What's your goal? Is it just, we got some money, we want to put up a video board. Okay. Do you want to talk about revenue? Oh, is there revenue? Oh, okay. All right. Do you want to talk about game day atmosphere? Do you want to talk about, we're trying to, so I get this opportunity now to have this unbelievable impact on not just the school or the kids on the teams or the kids in the stands, but for the community. Because I really do believe that when we did those kind of things, people who have not followed a basketball game or a volleyball game in a long time got word of, hey, you need to come to these arenas and see what's inside there. Sure. It just makes that kind of community impact. And so that part is pretty fun. And we're seeing that that side of the country is starting to play a little catch up. I think those things kind of spread nationwide. Turf goes through the South and all of a sudden it goes up north. We're starting to see that. So now we're seeing high schools that are starting to add these kinds of bells and whistles that really make it unbelievable that it's the same thing you're seeing in college.
Yeah. Yeah. When you said earlier about your arenas being better than some of the local colleges, and we're, ACE is doing that for high school stadiums too, for football as well, right?
Yeah. It makes an environment regardless of what sport you want, because, education-based athletics, I don't build a field for lacrosse and then a field for football and a field for soccer. Everybody plays in that same field. So what can I put up that gives me the most bang for my buck? I'm not building an arena for the volleyball team or for the basketball team or for the girls basketball team. Boys, I build a arena and they'll all use that. Wrestling, they will also be in there. And so what can I put in here that will benefit every kid? And not to mention, when you do things, people don't realize the kind of impact that it has is that when the student council comes to you and says, hey, coach, that new video board that's on the football field, can we show a movie on that? Like, yes,
you can.
You can. Well, we're going to charge $2 and kids are going to bring their chairs. I said, okay, it's great. Those chairs, though, we're going to put those on the turf. Okay, let's talk about that. How are we? Can we make sure it's the flat end chairs so when they go on, and they're going to eat on the turf, just make sure they don't have sunflower seeds. So, but it does so many more things than just a game.
You build like a community involvement, right? That's Kenny Simpson, obviously, football over at Southside in Northeast Arkansas, and he put the video board up. What's he got it? Year 10 now? I think he's right at the one in Southside, and I think he did one at Searcy as well.
That's right.
But Kenny has, we're talking about this the revenue people give you ad revenue, right?
Yeah.
But then he brings them out and has a community day on the football field. It's like, oh, you bought into our program. Well, we're going to give back to you now. We're gonna have this huge event, whether it's hiring event or you want to sell to the fans are going to come back on a non-game day, and we're going to just sit right here and have a huge community day. And like those things you can do, and you could do that at your local football field now.
100%.
But when I can be playing your advertisements, your commercials in the background, you're talking about, it's a whole different level, right?
Yeah, and just think about all the things that you and I are just, you do homecoming, and you would put the young lady's name up there, and maybe a static picture of them. Now we're streaming onto the video boards at the same time, and so there's so many things that I think that we haven't unlocked yet with the toys that they provide that it is really amazing what it can do. Now we're even seeing, get this, I had a customer ask, hey, well, can we roll those? Yeah, we can. I mean, they're portable. Essentially, we take it down and put it up. Well, good. For graduation, we want to put it behind the stage on the football field because most football fields has the scoreboard on the side, which is great. It does stream everything, but the focus is going to be on the graduates right there. And so they wanted to do I said, that's a great idea.
That's a great idea.
Let's do that. And before graduation, what do you know? It says McDonald's across there, or it says Bob's Auto Parts. And so, I mean, it's endless of what we can do. But all of it is to make it, everybody wants to make it a little flashy. We want to make it fun, make it exciting.
Yeah. And that's where we are, right? That's the point. We're talking about social media is just, you're taking all that and now you video it. You've got it on the big board, your whatever it is, your homecoming, your graduation, National Honor Society, whatever, a movie night. Then you put that on your Twitter, your Facebook, and now the kid down the street who's going to be a 5-star quarterback in 3 years. Hey, maybe I want to go over there, Dad.
Yeah, there's no question. Here's another one that I haven't shared with you is that now we have community members that are wanting to come in. They'll sit in the end section of the arena, and they're going to have, Chamberlain's grocery stores across the 6-county region. They have 400 employees. They want to come in and sit there, and they're going to have their year-end meeting or their start of year meeting, and they want all of their PowerPoints and everything on the video boards in the arenas. And like, how much better is that than just being in some big boardroom or classroom or something? You're in a venue that just happens to be where my kid goes to school. So I mean, it's I don't think that that adults don't like seeing their big mug on the video screen just as much as the kids like seeing their big picture up on it. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Well, Michael, we are at just over 20 minutes here, man. Yep. I greatly appreciate Coach having you come on and talk today.
Yes, sir.
Just spreading the good word about Ace. I think it's just one of those companies that every time I'm around the people in charge and the people that are out being the salesman, and there's never a bad experience. No. There's not a person here who is selfish. There's not a person out here who's trying to take, advantage of anyone. We want to put a very high quality product in your school district. We want to celebrate your kids, your staff. I mean, everything, right?
I think that if there's anything that I can say about the company is that we are more in tune with the name on the product than we are anything else. We want the experience to be from the beginning to the end, to be something that you'll be like, yeah, those guys.
Yep. It's the guys.
That's how we do it.
Well, appreciate you jumping back on. I know it's been a few months now since the spring.
That's right.
Like you said, it's getting back into that clinic season now. Guys, we greatly appreciate you watching. We'll be back on here probably top of the hour-ish, 2:30 maybe. So if you are trying to catch all the streams today, we've got some more coaches coming on, talk a little bit of football, maybe some other sports. We'll snag some athletic directors out of the crowd here. So appreciate you very much. We will talk to you very soon.